Paris has so many iconic places to see, and you could spend weeks exploring the city. But we had 9.5 hours on an extended layover, so our family of 6 hit the ground running to see as much as we could in that time. It can be done. If you've got any questions about anything related to our stop in Paris, please comment below and I'll be happy to help out if I can. Okay, so here are the details. We're a family of 6 that just spent the last 6 weeks in Africa, including a stopover in Egypt. I'll put the video link here for the info on that stop. Our kids at the time were 10, 9, 6, and 10 months. As we booked our flights home, there was an option for a 9.5 hour layover in Paris. There was options for shorter layovers also, but I knew after being to Paris a couple years ago that a quick layover there was doable and we could see some of the sights that the kids and Megan had not seen before and do it effectively and efficiently if everything lined up. The layover was from early in the morning until mid-afternoon, and so everything was open. We had time to do it. This is a little explanation of how we did it and the details of what we did. As I was doing research about each piece of the puzzle and how to be the most efficient with our time, I had trouble finding some of the details online. So I thought that I would create this video to help you out should you decide to take a long layover in Paris and tell you exactly what we did to make it happen. So we left Cairo and landed at Charles de Gaulle at 5:45 a.m. After taxi and getting to the gate, we were headed through passport control by around 6:30. One thing to note is that the automatic ID gates in Paris that use your passport are not usable by anyone under 12, so we had to go through the longer line for the manual passport checks, and that took about 30 minutes or so to get through. I'd done lots of research about how to and where to store our bags, the carry-on bags we had, because we stashed a bunch of stuff in our check bags, but we just had some things that we couldn't check. So Bagages du Monde was the only baggage storage option in CDG. The problem was the website said they opened at 8 and it was like 7:15 and we were ready to get on the train. So with really no other options, we headed to the Bagages du Monde, which is located just outside the RARB train terminal. Thankfully, the website was wrong and they were actually open and taking bags at 7:15. For about €50 or so, it took our 4 bags for 6 hours of storage and we took off to catch the train. We took the RERB blue line into town, which took about 45 minutes. The cost was about €48 for 2 adults and 3 kids over 6. I know that the kids are like half price. These tickets were one-way tickets from CDG to Notre Dame. I had always wanted to see Notre Dame and hate that I never made it before it burned. I was able to make a stop in Paris last year, and it was amazing how far they've come along in the restoration process in just the last year. So it was cool to let the family see that. After a few cold, rainy, wet minutes outside Notre Dame, we jumped back on the train and headed to the Eiffel Tower. This ride was about 12 minutes and cost us around €12. We got off the train, and after about a 5-minute walk, we were able to see the amazing Eiffel Tower. It's so cool seeing such iconic places with your own eyes. We took our time walking around and under and beside the tower and worked our way up the streets for some pastries on the way back to the Arc de Triomphe. What do you think?
I love it.
It's about a 1.5 mile walk up to the Arc de Triomphe from the Eiffel Tower. On the walk up, we stopped for some pastries, and then when we finished at the Arch, we meandered through the Parisian streets and checked out some of the local coffee shops and grabbed some lunch. We found a great little corner shop with sandwiches, and Megan got the coffee she wanted, and we were all happy and pretty full. We jumped back on the RER-A train just under the Arc de Triomphe, and it took us to meet the RER-B line that took us back to CDG. The train ride back to CDG was the same €48 one-way ticket. We went back to Bagages du Monde to retrieve our bags and then quick run through the passport control into our gate. Now back in the air, headed to Atlanta and then headed home. All in, we spent about $200 between baggage storage, train tickets, souvenirs, and food. It was really kind of a wild day that had us eating breakfast in Cairo at 1 a.m. before we departed at the lounge, pastries and lunch on the streets of Paris, and supper back at home at Chick-fil-A in Atlanta. And it was just really kind of a wild day, all on a Monday. I know there's so much more to see and do in Paris. Sometimes when the opportunity allows, we can't help but jump at the chance. I don't ever want to miss out on something that's awesome and a place many people long to see when we can make it happen very easily. Hopefully this information will help you with details of how to get from CDG into the city center and see some of the sights on a long layover in Paris. Enjoy.